the heightened spiritual warfare and hidden agendas people carry before the solar eclipse are not just coincidences, but deliberate manifestations of forces that thrive in times of cosmic transition. When a solar eclipse approaches, especially the final day leading into it, the spiritual atmosphere becomes charged with unusual intensity. Those who are spiritually aware can sense the heaviness in the air, the strange restlessness, and the unseen pull between light and darkness. For the chosen ones, this period can feel like walking through a battlefield where the weapons are not physical but spiritual, and every interaction carries weight. It is during this time that hidden enemies, people with concealed motives, and those influenced by negative energies often feel compelled to step forward or make contact. They may present themselves as friends, well-wishers, or simply curious individuals. But behind their presence is an unseen agenda that is designed to interfere with your spiritual focus and drain your energy. The last day before the eclipse is especially dangerous because it represents a closing window of preparation before a shift takes place. Spiritually, this means that the choices you make, the people you allow into your presence, and the conversations you entertain can either fortify you for the transition or leave you vulnerable to attacks. Enemies who have been hiding in the shadows may attempt to draw near, disguising their intentions under the cover of normalcy, hoping that you will let your guard down. This is why you must be especially vigilant, because spiritual warfare is not always loud or dramatic. Often it comes in subtle forms, such as a draining conversation, an unnecessary meeting, or a sudden request for your time on that critical day. Hidden agendas also thrive in moments of distraction. Just before an eclipse, the spiritual energy around the chosen ones is elevated, making them more noticeable in the unseen realm. People who carry envy, resentment, or hidden ill will may feel an unusual urge to connect or reconnect, not even fully realizing themselves that they are being influenced to approach you at that time. This influence can cause them to act as vessels for spiritual interference. Their presence is not harmless. It is designed to take your focus off the preparation you need to make and entangle you in emotional, mental, or spiritual battles that weaken your strength for what is ahead. These encounters are not random, they are orchestrated. The warfare intensifies because eclipses symbolize endings and new beginnings. And the day before is when the enemy tries hardest to sabotage what is about to be birthed. If you meet the wrong person, entertain the wrong energy, or open your spirit to someone carrying darkness, you risk stepping into the eclipse unprepared and burdened. It is no coincidence that hidden motives are revealed during this time, because the light and shadow interplay of an eclipse mirrors the revelation of what is hidden in people's hearts. What they truly think of you, what they secretly desire from you, or what resentment they have been harboring may come out in subtle ways if you give them access to you. That is why understanding the heightened warfare and the agendas moving against you is not optional for the chosen ones. It is a necessary awareness that ensures you do not fall into traps laid specifically for that fragile moment. The vulnerability of the chosen one's energy and destiny alignment during the final day before a solar eclipse is not an abstract concept, but a real spiritual dynamic that many overlook. During this narrow window, the soul's frequency can shift. Intuition sharpens, and doors that have been closed begin to tremble as new pathways prepare to open. For those aligned with higher purposes, that shift makes you both more powerful and more exposed. Powerful because spiritual alignments accelerate, and sensitive because any misstep can ripple forward into the season that follows, when destiny is bending toward you. The last day before the eclipse becomes a pressure point. Small influences can either reinforce the alignment or introduce distortions that take time and energy to correct. Sensitivity is a double-edged sword. As your inner compass aligns, the noise of the world fades and you begin to receive clearer impressions, dreams, and nudges. At the same time, that signal attracts attention. People who are spiritually neutral may unwittingly become conduits of negative thought patterns. Those with malicious intent may actively seek to intercept your momentum. The chosen ones often experience this as a sudden fatigue, emotional confusion, or a mismatch between what they feel inwardly and what plays out externally. These symptoms are not random. They are signs that the fine-tuned vibration required for the coming shift is being disturbed. Recognizing these early gives you a tactical advantage. You can choose protection rather than reaction. Alignment is not only about avoiding negativity. It is about maintaining the sacred posture necessary for a breakthrough. The last day before an eclipse is a threshold where small choices carry disproportionate weight. A casual agreement, an unguarded promise, or a sympathetic ear given at the wrong time can reroute favor, delay clarity, or dim spiritual sight. For example, agreeing to a minor partnership or opening up about a vision to someone who will not protect that seed can lead to misinterpretation, gossip, or energetic leakage. That leakage may be subtle, a drained day, a persistent worry, a stalled project, but when destiny is sensitive, even subtle losses compound quickly. Practical discernment matters. This is the day to rest more, speak less, and retreat into contemplative practices that consolidate your center. Prayer, meditation, fasting, or quiet journaling serve as recalibration tools. They help you lock in the frequency you need and make it harder for external currents to pull you off course. Keep sacred boundaries around your time and attention. Silence is not avoidance here. It is strategy. If a person arrives with drama, urgent demands, or confusing counsel, the wise response is to defer rather than engage. Preserve your space so that the alignment that has been forming can complete without being diluted by transient energies. When you protect your energy on that day, you are not being paranoid. You are being precise. The alignment you guard will determine how the eclipse affects you, whether it serves as a launch pad into greater destiny or as a veil that obscures your next steps, and whether the doors you step through will reveal the importance of isolation, discernment, and preparation to protect divine breakthroughs becomes most critical on the last day before a solar eclipse. In spiritual terms, this day functions like the quiet before a storm, the final stretch before a threshold is crossed. For the chosen ones, the hours leading up to the eclipse are not meant to be filled with noise, distraction, or unnecessary interactions, but with deliberate stillness. Isolation is not about loneliness. It is about shielding yourself from energies that may contaminate your spirit. By stepping away from social encounters, you are not rejecting people, but safeguarding the sacred space within you that must remain pure for what is about to be released. Silence and solitude amplify clarity, helping you discern between your own inner voice, divine guidance, and the deceptive whispers that often try to creep in during these heightened moments. Discernment becomes your compass. On the final day before the eclipse, every invitation, message, or unexpected encounter carries weight. Some people may appear with friendly gestures, but their presence might be divinely timed as a distraction to derail you. Others may suddenly reach out after long silence, seeking to reopen old wounds or stir confusion. Without discernment, you may fall into the trap of assuming every approach is harmless, when in reality, it may be a spiritual test designed to measure whether you are ready to cross into the next season. Discernment allows you to see beyond words and appearances, reading the intent behind actions and sensing the energy someone carries before allowing them into your space. It is through discernment that you recognize which doors to close, which conversations to avoid, and which connections to postpone until after the shift has taken place. Preparation is equally vital because breakthroughs do not arrive to those who are distracted or unprepared. The eclipse signifies endings and beginnings, the closing of one chapter and the unlocking of another. If you enter that transition without being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually ready, you risk carrying old patterns, old relationships, and old wounds into a new cycle. Preparation means aligning your thoughts with faith, cleansing your space from anything that carries negative weight, and reaffirming your focus on the promises set before you. It also means strengthening yourself in prayer or reflection so that when the shift occurs, you are able to step into it boldly rather than stumbling under pressure. The truth is that isolation, discernment, and preparation are not optional luxuries for the chosen ones. They are spiritual mandates. They guard your destiny, protect your breakthroughs, and ensure that what is meant for you cannot be stolen, delayed, or diluted by outside interference. On the last day before the eclipse, everything around you will try to pull you outward, but wisdom calls you inward. This is the time to choose sacred focus over shallow interaction, stillness over distraction, and divine alignment over human urgency. If you protect your spirit in those critical hours, the eclipse will not overwhelm you, but will instead propel you into the next stage of your journey with strength, clarity, and unstoppable momentum.